How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're on a battle versus a wild Janetta appeared in the OU tier from the Discord. Now just before the video begins, go ahead and leave a like on the video, it really helps me out, and subscribe as well if you haven't already. Big help. We're going for 10k for the end of the year. Let's hope we can get there. Looking at their team, they got a Screamtail, an Empoleon, the Braviary, Hisui, Dragapult, Sandy Shocks, and the Gliscor. Pretty powerful stuff. That Gliscor can be very threatening, especially if it's Terra Water with Crabhammer. I've been running that on a team that I'm cooking at the moment. It does amazing. It's so good. So looking at the team, I think Shaymin might put in some work here. Seed Flare hurts everything pretty badly, other than the Braviary. So if we get that out of the way, we should be golden. I think I lead off with the Samurott, because they likely lead off with something along the lines of the Sandy Shock or the Braviary, or more likely the Dragapult, depending on what set it is. But I feel like looking at their team, I feel like that's going to be a physical set, so we'll have to see. And the battle begins. I love the outfit, that's cool. My opponent's going to lead off with Trawler, the Sandy Shocks, as we lead off with Whitebeard, the Samurott, Hisui. So this is not a bad matchup. We have the Focus Sash, so we can take any hit this thing wants to throw at us. We could go for a Flip Turn if we really want to. I'm going to go straight for that Razor Shell. If they go for a Volt Switch, then fair enough, but I feel like they go for a Stealth Rocks. They go for a Volt Switch, which is, of course, going to take us right down to our Sash. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I should have gone for a Ceaseless Edge, really, but they don't know what we're going to go for. They can't necessarily just switch anything in. I think they go Empoleon here. I think Empoleon is the right play for them to go for. Liquid Feet comes in. That's got to be the Empoleon, right? Yes, the Empoleon comes in. And provided they're not Rocky Helmet, which I don't think they will be. Are they? No, they're Leftovers, which is good to know. So Leftovers Empoleon, ladies and gentlemen. So we outspeed the Empoleon, I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever. So I'm going to go for that nice and powerful Flip Turn. Get on out of there. Get a bit of chip damage off on them. There we go. Flip Turn comes through. Bit of chip. And then we'll go straight back out into something that can deal with this Empoleon a bit better than the Samurott. So I'm leaning towards Shaymin. Shaymin could be good, but if we go for the Seed Flare and we get that special defense drop, it's going to boost their special attack to sky-high levels. We don't really want that. But it is our only switch, really. So we're going to have to go into Shaymin. We're going to have to go into Shaymin and hope and hope and hope that Seed Flare is enough. So let's see how this works out. So they actually go for a Roar, which is going to drag us out and go back into what? I'm guessing Samurott comes in right now. I'm guessing Samurott. The Mamoswine. That's actually much better. That works out really well for us. Really well for us. So now that Mamoswine is in, we can threaten this thing out of an Earthquake. Alternatively, they could Terra Flying and resist the Earthquake or be immune to the Earthquake, or they could Terra into something that does. So they either switch out here into the Braviary as the or the Gliscor. Gliscor less so because it can't really do anything in return, whereas the Braviary can heal us with a strong special attack. So I think we have to make the double switch here and expect them to switch into either Braviary or the Gliscor, in which case I'm thinking of going back into Samurott here. I would go straight for the Earthquake, but they definitely switch out here because they don't want to get... they either switch out or they go for the Terra Flying. So I think I'm going to switch in Samurott. If Samurott goes down, if they Terra Flying / Terra whatever resist ground and attack us, we lose Samurott, but it's not the end of the world. Let's just see how this plays out. So they actually do withdraw, expecting the Earthquake. And they're going to go into what? The Braviary? Tramp Stamps. What's that? That's going to be the Screamtail. Screamtail works as well, I guess. So, yeah. I would go for the Sucker Punch, but there is a likelihood that this thing is going to go for something along the lines of a status afflicting move. So I'm going to go for a Ceaseless Edge just in case. And they do go for a Dazzling Gleam. We could have Sucker Punch, but I kind of figured they would go for a status afflicting move because that's normally what I see on Screamtail. They're normally status boosting moves. So we did lose Samurott, which is absolutely fine by me. So we could go into the Iron Moth here. Get that nice and powerful booster energy going on. Or we could go into Mamoswine again. I'm leaning towards Mamoswine purely because Icicle Spear with the loaded dice hits their team very hard. They do not have a good switch into ice type moves other than the Empoleon, who gets dealt with by the Earthquake. So I think we're in a very good position right now. We can go for the Icicle Spear. It's a potential 125 base power move, thanks to the loaded dice. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. It'll hurt the Empoleon either way. So they go for another Dazzling Gleam just to get some damage off, I guess. Break a potential Focus Sash. We go for the Icicle Spear. It's actually not doing much damage at all. Not much damage at all. I mean, it's going to do at least 50%, right? We hit 4 times. Never mind. At least, you know, it was a base 100 power move. Base 100 power move. So, they have got leftovers, which is good to note. I think we just carry on with the Icicle Spear here. They go for a Protect to get some more leftovers recovery, which is fair enough. That's absolutely fine by me. I'm starting to lean towards going for knockoff here. You know? Because this 1v1 is not something that the Screamtail wins. They can't Thunder Wave us because they're a ground type. If they have Thunder Wave. I'm surprised they're not Stealth Rocking. Let's go for another Icicle Spear. There's no real reason not to. If they go into Empoleon, we outspeed and KO with the Earthquake. And then we go from there. So they go for a Wish, which is fair enough. So now we know what they're going to do. They're going to go for a Wish and then they're going to go for Protect. So we go for an Icicle Spear. Let's hope we can get all 5 hits. That'd be nice. That would be nice. So there's 3. There's 4. And there's 5. So we got 5 off, which is great. They're going to go for a Protect here, get their health back. So we've got a couple of options. We can either stay in, go hard, or we can go into the Iron Moth. But if we go into the Iron Moth, what stat are you boosting? If we go into the Iron Moth, we get a special attack boost, which means we don't outspeed the Screamtail. So, or we better go into something else. I think we win the 1v1 anyway, so we may as well just go for the Icicle Spear again. I think we may as well just go for the Icicle Spear. Like they're going to go for a Protect, which is fine. They're going to get that health back with the Wish. There we go. Icicle Spear is going to fail, obviously, because of the Protect. The Screamtail loses this matchup, though, 1v1. 100 billion%. So, let's try this out again. So, there we go. Back to half health. And with leftovers recovery, they are back in the position they were. So, I don't think they're going to stay in and carry on with this shenanigan. I think what we do here is we go for a knockoff, get rid of the leftovers. I think that's going to be important. And then we just kind of go from there. So they go for an Encore, which isn't too bad. I'm not bothered about being locked into Icicle Spear. It means they get a free switch in with their Empoleon, but I'm happy with that because damage is damage at the end of the day. So we get a 1, 2, 3 off, 4 off, and a 5th Icicle Spear off, which is great. So let's see what they do here. Next turn, we can't Ice Shard them because we're Encored into Icicle Spear, which is unfortunate, but whatever. They either go for a Wish, a Protect, or they switch into Empoleon. And I think it's the Empoleon switch that's coming through. They do withdraw. Okay, so the only thing that can switch into this is the Empoleon. Liquid Feet comes in. There we go. So we're going to get some nice chip off on the Empoleon, which is going to be great, especially if we can hit all 5 times. I know it's 4 times resisted, but still, chip is chip at the end of the day. There we go. A load of dice Icicle Spear Mamoswine is actually amazing. Actually amazing, and it works so well against their team. You know, Ice Shard's hitting really hard. And then especially with Terra, if we Terra and we get that powerful Ice Shard off, oh yes. So unfortunately we are Encored. So we have to go for Icicle Spear next or switch out. And I'm going to go ahead and go into Shaymin. And the reason I'm going to Shaymin is because I want to fire off a Seed Flare. I want to see it. I want to see it happen. There we go, switch out Mamoswine. And we're going to go into the Shaymin real quick, Serenity. There we go. Nice and shiny, gotta love it. They go for a Stealth Rocks, finally going for a Stealth Rocks. There we go, the Empoleon gets them Stealth Rocks right up. They probably go for a Roost here. Now, I've got a couple of options. So, Stab Seed Flare does more damage than super effective Earth Power, I believe. I would calc it, but, you know, 20-minute timer and all that. So I think I will go for a Seed Flare. It hits pretty hard against their entire team. The Screamtail is pretty much gone. So yeah, we'll just go for a Seed Flare here. We definitely go for a Seed Flare. It should do a lot of damage. If we get the Special Defense drop and they get a competitive boost, not the best situation for us to be in, but we can easily revenge kill the Empoleon, no problem. There we go for a Seed Flare. We do miss, which is really unfortunate, as they go for a Roar. So they go for the Roar. Now, we can't defog on the Empoleon. If we defog the Empoleon, watch us get dragged down to that. Oh no, Iron Moth gets dragged out. That's unfortunate. So Iron Moth comes in. We are going to get that Quark Drive boost into our special attack, which is fine. Absolutely fine. We can deal with that. And then I guess we just go for a Fiery Dance. I guess we just go for a Fiery Dance here. We should be able to win this 1v1. I'm pretty sure we can live a Surf from this thing. So, I should Terra, really. Should I Terra? Yeah, I'm going to Terra. I'm going to Terra Grass, and then we'll go for a Fiery Dance. So there we go. Going to Terra Grass, go for a Fiery Dance. It's unfortunate that we missed the Seed Flare because it would have done a lot of damage with us being choice specs and everything. And it would have been nice to see Shaymin actually get to do something in the game. But just not this time. Maybe against the Gliscor. Maybe against the Gliscor. So we go for a Fiery Dance real quick. Terra Grass. We're going to resist that Water type move they go for. Hopefully get a special attack boost. We do get the special attack boost, which is amazing. As they go for a Chilling Water, which is going to lower our attack. I believe. Yes, the attack fell. Attack fell. So there we go. Not a bad matchup for us at all. The next Fiery Dance will KO the Empoleon. They can't really risk bringing anything else in. Even the Dragapult doesn't want to come in necessarily. So we go for another Fiery Dance. We go for the Fiery Dance again. Fiery Dance comes through. Definitely going to take out that Empoleon. There we go. Empoleon goes down. So now, the minute we get a switch in with Mamoswine, we hit Icicle Spear. Something's going to go down. Something is going to go down. We can't Terra Ice, unfortunately, but Mamoswine gets to do its work. So in comes the Dragapult. So Dragapult is a great switch here. It resists both our stabs. It can definitely take a hit or two. I think they go for a Draco here. So I'm half tempted to go Corviknight. Just because obviously we will resist that. I am going to go Corviknight because Corviknight, the only thing Corviknight walls on their team really is going to be the Gliscor. And we can deal with the Gliscor with Mamoswine, no problem. So we'll go Corviknight. We'll see what they do. See if we can get the opportunity to go for a Defog. They go for a U-turn. That's going to get some nice and powerful Rocky Helmet chip on them, which is what we like to see. So let's see how this goes down. So Dragapult goes back. In comes the Sandy Shocks, I would guess. Caliban comes in. What is that? The Hisuian Braviary. So the Braviary comes in. It's going to try and set up all over our face. So first things first, I want to get rid of them Stealth Rocks because obviously they are hurting the team a little bit. But I don't want this thing to set up all over me. It's going to go for a Calm Mind. It's going to be a bad time. So let's go for a U-turn. We are slower. So yeah, Esper Wing comes through. Does a lot of damage. That was a crit. And it boosts the speed. That's not good. So we go for a U-turn real quick. There we go. Get on out of there. What do we have that outspeeds the Braviary in this instance? Probably going to have to be the Quark Drive. Yeah, Iron Valiant. So we'll go Iron Valiant. Oh, Gallant over here. Gallant comes in. We're going to get that booster energy and speed, which means we can actually outspeed the Braviary after its Esper Wing, which is great. We know they're probably going to, if they've got Esper Wing, they're probably max speed instead of bulk. So we can go for a Thunderbolt pretty safely and hopefully get the KO on this thing. And if we can't, Mamoswine can come in and Ice Shard that thing. So they are going to Terra. What type are they going to Terra into? Is it going to be a type to resist ground? Electric, sorry? Flying, pure flying. So they're going for the power. Maybe they expect a Shadow Ball. Potentially, I could go for a Shadow Ball, but no, I'm Thunderbolt this time. And that's going to take out the Braviary. So Iron Valiant comes through and takes out the Braviary, which is absolutely amazing. So down it goes after Terrestrializing as well. We're off to a very good start. In comes Harbinger, which is going to be the Gliscor. So Gliscor definitely hurts us, depending on the set. So we want to switch out here. And we're going to go Shaymin. And the reason I go Shaymin is because A, we resist the Earthquake, which could be coming. They're not going to go for Acrobatics necessarily, and even if they do, it's only base 55 power while they've still got an item. What else could they go for here on this Shaymin? So let's see. They go for Protect to try and get that Toxic Orb, which is fair enough. That's going to work out really nicely for them. We get to go for a Seed Flare here, which is going to do a lot of damage to something. So let's go for a Seed Flare real quick, and hopefully we can actually hit it this time. Seed Flare comes through. Obviously, we outspeed. Nearly gets the KO on the Gliscor and gets a special defense drop, so the next one will. They miss the Toxic, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, we have Natural Cure as an ability, so we don't have to worry too much about Toxic. So let's go for another Seed Flare and get the KO here. They go for a Protect to get as much health back as possible, which is fair enough. And that's obviously going to protect them from our next Seed Flare. But the Seed Flare after that, something is going down. Something is going down. So they could switch into Dragapult. I have to go for Seed Flare because I'm locked in with choice specs. They do withdraw. Are they going to bank on the Dragapult living, or are they going to sack the Screamtail? Tramp Stamps, is that the Screamtail? It's the Scream Tail. We go for the Seed Flare. That's going to take out the Scream Tail, no problem. This gives them a free switch into whatever they want to take care of us. Now, the only things they've got that outspeed Shaymin are the Sandy Shocks, which can't do anything to us, especially without Terror, and the Dragapult. So Miraxis is going to come in the Dragapult. So that is a terrifying thing to go against. Luckily, Shaymin still has a use for us. We still have a use for Shaymin being the Sandy Shocks. We wall the ever-living Christ out of that thing. So I'm going to sack off Corviknight / switch into a Dragon Dart if they're physical. We'll see what move they're going to go for. So we'll go into Noctis, the Corviknight real quick. There we go. Get some Stealth Rock damage, which is unfortunate. They go for a U-turn. We're going to get a little bit more Rocky Helmet chip on that thing, which is great because it limits the amount of times this thing can switch into Seed Flare from Shaymin. So I don't think it can switch into one now. Harbinger comes in, which is, of course, the Gliscor. Now, I want to get rid of the Stealth Rocks. I really do. But this thing's going to KO me with a knockoff right now. So I'm going to go for the Defog. They do go for the knockoff. Gets the KO on the Corviknight. The Rocky Helmet chip is there, which is great. And now we just go into Shaymin again. We literally just go into Shaymin again. They knocked off on Rocky Helmet. It's fine. Poison Heal. It's fine. Poison Heal is fine. Shaymin comes in. Shaymin's actually doing something in this game. It started off hyping up Mamoswine. Like, Mamoswine matches up really well against their team, and we still got it in the back for the Ice Shard KO if we need it. But Shaymin's putting in the work right now. It just gets a switch in, and then it gets a KO. They go for a Protect. Fair enough. Go for your Protect all you want to. You are not living this next Seed Flare. After the protected one, of course. So let's go for another Seed Flare. Obviously, they protected themselves this turn. Get the Poison Heal back up to over half. Just over half. We go for another Seed Flare, and that's going to get the KO on the Gliscor. It'll KO the Dragapult. It'll KO the Sandy Shocks. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Down goes the Gliscor. So Shaymin putting in the work right now. Shaymin putting in the absolute work right now. It's a shame we can't use Shaymin Sky form. I would love to use that. So in comes Miraxis, which is, of course, the Dragapult. So we can still use Shaymin. We can definitely still use Shaymin for the Sandy Shocks. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go into Iron Moth, because Iron Moth ain't doing nothing for us this game anymore. Going to sack off Iron Moth, go into the Mamoswine, get a nice powerful Icicle Spear off. And then once the Sandy Shocks comes in, we just go back into Shaymin, Seed Flaring in the face. They go for a U-turn, which is going to take out Mothra, which means we get a free switch into the Sandy Shocks with Shaymin. Shaymin coming through for us right now, and the time is not going to let us finish this game, unfortunately. But what a game. This has been an absolutely fantastic battle so far. I'm really enjoying this one. In comes Trawler, the Sandy Shocks. There it is. There it is. Oh, yes. We just go Shaymin real quick, and I am going to try and press my buttons a bit quicker just to get as much of the battle done within the time limit that we have left. There we go. Pointer Stones are going to dig in. We just go straight for that Seed Flare, and it'll definitely KO the Sandy Shocks unless they're Focus Sash, which they could be. We outspeed somehow, and we take it out. So it must be a modest Sandy Shocks. Modest Sandy Shocks. Interesting. So why do that? Anyway, in comes the Dragapult. So Dragapult comes in. Let's see how much the Seed Flare. This is our final Seed Flare. Let's see if we can put in the work right now. Let's see if we can put in the work. Phantom Force comes through. So they're going to disappear, which is unfortunate. And we go for a Seed Flare, which does absolutely nothing because they're not there anymore. I have to go for a struggle now. So poor Shaymin gets taken out, but it's fine. We have the Mamoswine in the back. And Mamoswine, with its physical bulk, can easily 1v1 this Dragapult. So that is going to be the game. The Dragapult goes down to the Mamoswine, Icicle Spear / whatever I want to go for. Let's see if it actually lets us use a move here. Because I picked it at the last second, so it might actually work. No, time has run out. The battle is over. So GG won. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm rubbish at pronouncing your name. GG very much. It was a really fun game. Came right down to the wire. It's unfortunate about the timer. Well, what can you do about that? But anyway, here is the team. If you want to try it out, use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.